For the first time on this page, I get an opportunity now to preview another series for the Toronto Maple Leafs. After the thrilling, exhilarating round 1 matchup against the Lightning, round 2 is quickly upon us. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., the Leafs will take on, not the Boston Bruins. Man, that was sweet. They take on the Florida Panthers at Scotiabank Arena tomorrow night at 7. First off, if there are any Florida fans watching these videos, first off, awesome job beating up the Bruins. Oh, it's a nice sight to always see that team lose. But now let's get into this series. What's in the past is in the past. Are us as Leaf fans elated that the Leafs finally won a playoff round? Absolutely. Is that the goal, though? Of course not. And in order to take the next step, you got to get through the Florida Panthers. You got to win a best-of-7 series. That is the focus. That's all there is to it. Excuse me. So let's talk about this series and what the Leafs need to do to win. And the glaring thing, defend and Ilya Samsonov. Those two things, which defending is obviously a massive part, but if you can defend well and Samsonov can build off of that round 1 matchup against Tampa, where he was brilliant in Game 3, phenomenal in Game 6, if he can build on that, you will beat the Florida Panthers. Now, I'm going to rip through some of their regular season stats. As Florida Panther fans have learned very quick, and hockey fans have learned very quick, regular season numbers, they don't mean much. They just don't mean much. They just took on the best regular season team in NHL history in the Boston Bruins. The Bruins were up 3-1. Blew it. They had a lead with a minute left in the game. Blew it. Everything goes out the window. However, when things are as skewed as they are for the Florida Panthers, you start to think a bit. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to listen to these team stats, okay? So these are all of their offensive numbers. They're 6th in goals for. That's 3.51 goals a game. It's really good. They pummel the net with shots. They were the first place team in the league in shots on goal. 36.8 on average per game. They're a great offensive team. Power play percentage, 10th in the NHL. Shooting percentage down to 22nd. So obviously they didn't finish a whole lot, but they just pummeled the net with shots. And face-off percentage, where the Leafs are usually dominant, they are 21st. They score a lot. They pummel the net with shots. But they do not, at least regular season-wise, they do not defend well at all. Goals allowed, shots against allowed, penalty kill percentage, and penalty minutes. Every single one of those categories, they're in the bottom 10 of the league. Shots on goals allowed, they average 3.32 goals allowed per game, 21st in the league. Shots on goal allowed, 31.7, 22nd in the NHL. Penalty kill percentage, 23rd in the NHL. And penalty minutes, we thought the Lightning took a lot of penalties. They were 30th. The Florida Panthers, 31st. They've taken the second most penalties on average per game in the regular season. So, take that for what it is. It's playoff stuff, so it doesn't mean a lot to me anymore. But those are very skewed numbers. Now let's get to their roster and what they're going to bring. Obviously, the goaltending matchups are going to be Sergei Bobrovsky and obviously Ilya Samsonov. More Russian goaltenders. It's crazy. One guy making a lot of money. One guy not so much, but he's building up to make a lot of money. Sergei Bobrovsky did not have a great regular season. Obviously, Alex Lyon got the first few starts of that Boston series, 307 with a .901 save percentage, but Bobrovsky's playoff numbers, 3 goals on 36 shots in the final game. They had 5 on 34, 3 on 47, 5 on 30. Not the greatest. And if you're the Leafs, if you can get your offensive shoes going, if your big guys can get flying, you're in good shape. You're in really good shape. However, there will be players on the Panthers where Leaf fans are going to be pulling their hair out time and time again. And people are going to say, well, yeah, Matthew Tkachuk. Well, yes. People also forget about Sam Bennett. Now, I don't think he's going to be to the extent of Matthew Tkachuk. But boy, oh boy, he's going to be a pain. And everyone by game 3 is going to be like, this guy is so freaking annoying. So we'll see how that goes. Alexander Barkov, one of the best two-way centers in hockey that no one talks about. Right? So there's that. And oh yeah, by the way, former Leaf, where is he here? Carter Verhaeghe. What is he, a third-round pick of the Leafs way back when, wasn't he? It doesn't have it here. I think he was a third-round pick of the Leafs. He's a Toronto boy playing his hometown team. He had a 42-goal season. He scored the game winner in Game 7 against the Bruins. Damn good player. Sam Reinhart, I don't know what his year was like, but they also get the grimy defenders, right? Aaron Ekblad's a stud. Radko Gudas he's gonna be a pain. He's gonna be a big guy in the back end who's gonna run guys. And people forget Brandon Montour. Brandon Montour had 16 goals and had 73 points in the regular season. That's a defenseman. Outstanding. I know people are already saying the Leafs are going to win this series. And on paper, and the way things look in the standings, should the Leafs win this game in the series? Yeah, they should. Now, my Leafs brain is kind of gone from the whole, how do I put it? The Leafs will leaf and they'll, flame out. It's going to be miserable. Just back to the old Leafs. That's kind of gone for me. They exercised that demon in the first round. Now, it's me just like, hey, I'm cheering these guys on through thick and thin, right to the very end. Let's see what happens. Totally different mindset because they've gotten over that hurdle. And that's, I think, a huge question mark right now. They've gotten over that hurdle. They got over that first round curse. 19 years in the making. And everyone's talked about it, right? I've even thought about it and talked about it in previous videos and to myself and to friends and whatnot. Before the Tampa series, I'm like, man, if they can find a way to get past the first round, who knows? The sky could be the limit. They could just free themselves up from all the demons and just play hockey and beat the crap out of everybody. Who knows? It could happen. And we'll get a good taste of that tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at Scotiabank Arena for Game 1. That video will be uploaded later than usual, guys. I will be at my girlfriend's place, so we'll be watching the game, of course, but won't be able to do the video till later on tonight, like I usually do on Tuesdays. If you've watched the videos before, you know the Tuesday videos are uploaded later than usual, kind of like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I apologize in advance for that tomorrow night, but either way, letting you know now. What do the Leafs need to do to win this series? Well, I'm going to end it off with this. First off, you have to defend better than you did against Tampa. There's no other way of looking at it. Tampa was the better team majority of the time of that series, right? They just were. You give a team like Florida, who's flying through confidence. They're playing with house money. They were near the bottom of the NHL earlier in the season. They barely squeaked into the playoffs. They weren't expected to make the playoffs. They made it. They were given no chance to play the Bruins. They came back from a 3-1 deficit. They are playing with house money. So, it's going to be tough. But you got to defend. You'll probably get your looks offensively. Because they give up a ton. The question is, how are you going to defend the Panthers? And that is the question mark. And look, Ilya Samsonov. If you're going to be this guy to bring Leafs Nation to the promised land, you need to be great. He was great in a couple games there against Tampa. You need him to be great against the Panthers. You hold them to 2 goals a game, maybe 3. You'll probably get your opportunities to score 3, 4, 5 goals. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm jacked up to watch hockey in time of the year that I've never watched it before. In the sense of the second round. We'll see what happens tomorrow, though. Game 1 between the Leafs and Panthers. And by the way, it's 7 o'clock tomorrow. That whole ticket nonsense that's going down in Florida, it tells you they're scared shitless about Leaf fans going out there and selling out their building and having half Leaf fans in the building. They clearly don't want that. But if I know Leafs Nation the way I've known them all my life, Leafs fans will find a way. Whether it's through extra, other people selling it, whether it's someone else buying who lives in Florida, he transfers tickets, all that stuff. They will find a way. And we'll see how it goes. But no matter what, Leafs Nation, it's only been 6 games to this point. It's been a ride. Let's keep this thing going. Game 1 between the Leafs and Panthers goes tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Scotiabank Arena. Game 2 is on Thursday. Game 3 in Florida will be on Saturday, I'm assuming. And then I'm assuming the next one's going to be Monday in Florida every other day. Unless they give one of those days a 2-day in between. But they want the Leafs on a Saturday night. So I'm assuming that'll be there for Game 3. But holy smokes, Leaf fans. It's going to be a time. Take advantage of it. Enjoy it, Leafs Nation. Because it's uncharted territory for a lot of us, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. And if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you guys enjoyed that, if you enjoyed it and are jacked up for round 2 hockey, smack that like button, hit the subscribe button, because I'll be covering all of it throughout the series. Twitter and Instagram links are down below, so follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. The Discord and TikTok links are down there as well, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition, tonight as they open up the series against the Boston Red Sox. Corey Kluber, Jose Barrios is the pitching matchup there at 7:07 at Fenway. As for the Leafs, Game 1 of Round 2 of the NHL playoffs goes tomorrow night, 7 p.m. puck drop at Scotiabank Arena. Leafs, Panthers. I'll talk to you guys then.